We don't talk about this subject very much. And when we do, it's usually done pretty quietly and secretively. Can you guess what that subject is? You're right. Sex. Two things happen to subjects that don't get talked about very much. First, there's little room for evolutionary development of thought around the subject. And second, as a result of the avoidance of the subject, those who don't talk about it get stuck in old paradigms and ways of thinking about that subject. And there's been so much development in this area in the last half century. If you're not open to discussing it, you're going to be way behind on understanding the subject and those who are experiencing and living the changes. Actually, a third dynamic occurs as a result of the silence and people getting stuck in a paradigm. They often become very rigid and judgmental towards those who challenge their paradigm. It then becomes an us versus them situation because of the inability or unwillingness to talk about it. The walls can get pretty thick and you reach an impasse. Then actually a fourth dynamic occurs. The subject becomes taboo. And not only the discussion of the subject, but the activity itself becomes taboo. And then it raises the curiosity of those who are just coming of age and who need some coaching, seriously, but can't get it because of the taboo nature of the subject, leading to clandestine experimentation and bad experiences. I remember during my freshman year at Chico State in Northern California, my parents came up to watch me compete in the conference championships for the decathlon. The night before the meet, they took me out to dinner. And my dad told me that they had discussed it and he wanted me to know that they thought masturbation was okay. I, I remember sitting there a little dumbfounded, having this discussion in such a public place, first of all. I think I responded, okay, thanks. If we talked any more about it, I don't remember that. What I do remember is all those years of guilt-ridden activity. I don't remember them ever telling me anything about masturbation before, though I certainly experienced a lot of guilt around what I thought was a sin. I've wondered how things would have gone for me if we had been able to talk about it a little earlier when it first came on my radar. And of course, for those in the church, there's the issue of premarital sex. On the path towards marriage, there are, or should be, multiple discussions about what each party likes to do, to eat, to listen to play, etc. Things that will be shared between them. Or if one of the two is not very excited about, say, baseball, and the other partner is a big fan, it may be agreed that the baseball fan can go and experience baseball with friends. What about sex? An aspect of a relationship that you probably don't want to have your partner do with friends and will probably be a pretty significant part of your relationship. And you're not allowed to experience it until after you've made what I'm sure you hope is a lifelong commitment. That's crazy. Your church may offer premarital counseling or seminars, but come on, does that serve to ease the discomfort around the subject? Imagine marrying someone and you've never talked about what foods they like or that you like, or whatever they like, something that you consider must be a part of your life. I'm not advocating for promiscuity or multiple partners. I believe there is a sacredness in the shared sexual experience that is not to be taken lightly or shared casually. And like I said earlier, the lack of communication and experience can lead to a lot of misunderstanding and frustration and disappointment. Suffice it to say that sex, sexual preference, and gender identification need to be discussed in an open, honest, non-judgmental, and loving environment. And that will be the subject of our next video.